always be advertising.
And for me, I'm looking at different avenues of client acquisition. Right now, I do a lot of networking, ton of networking, right? Which I've kind of figured out podcasting is one of the slowest ways to do networking, but it's good for branding. But I mean, I have years and years of content now. I can continue the branding at a high level, I think, but it's probably not true branding advertising, but it's still good for social media. But I'm looking at going beyond networking for client acquisition. And one of the ways is through LinkedIn outreach, funnel campaigns that end up as to an inside sales rep at some point rather than me, which we had talked about. I shouldn't be the only salesman for my company because it does pigeonhole things and it can lock things down if I'm unavailable or unable to do something. So what are your guys' thoughts on that, looking for different avenues of client acquisition?
I'll let Heather answer that question, but I just want to touch base on one thing that you said, which you said maybe podcasting is not a great way of brand marketing.
No, networking, client acquisition.
Oh, for client acquisition. Okay, but it's still a form of marketing. Client acquisition,
sure.
Sales, that's all a form of marketing. But if you were to be mentioning Crookus over and over again, it's good brand marketing. But you're also branding yourself, Mark Ebinger. The question then becomes, does Crookus benefit from Mark Ebinger branding himself and taking your fancy pictures with cop cars and airplanes and things like that? So for me, Howie Nestel, I leverage the Howie Nestel brand to help Sharkmatic, but Sharkmatic has to stand on its own because let's say, Google wants to buy me for $1.2 billion. They don't want Howie mentioned in all of the Google reviews. If I get Google reviews for Sharkmatic, I want them to be for Sharkmatic. Not for Howie, not for Jordan, not for some of my team members, for the company itself so that it's a standalone. So Howie Nestel has to have his own marketing. Sharkmatic has to have its own standalone marketing. That includes social media, that includes SEO, that includes everything else. So think about that and be more on purpose about what it is that you're out there marketing and branding. So
right
I'll let
now,
you answer.
Everything's like I have at Mark Ebinger's my Instagram, right? And it's got me, it's got podcasts,
And your
it's got
YouTube, yeah.
virtual staffing, all of that. It's not, it's not a.
Yeah. By the way, Google, not a fan of that stuff. Why? Because, it's like, I don't know, repairing radiators and then on the weekend selling barbacoa. You know what I mean? What are you? Are you a restaurant or an auto repair shop? So Google needs to categorize you in some way, shape, or form. So at some point you may consider, you're still a young man, you may want to consider separating those brands out and those offerings.